February 2012, and the polls open in Senegal's presidential election amid concerns about potential violent disruption. In Dakar, One World joins a local consortium to monitor the election, analysing the reports coming from the polling stations. Meanwhile, in North London, One World is up early to supervise the deployment of new software that will put these reports onto the map in real time. Green for good, shading towards red if problems are reported.
It's about 8:30 in the morning, Senegalese time and UK time, conveniently. We've received reports from 62 polling stations on opening procedures so far.
And we can see the messages coming in and the map updating. It's really wonderful to get this sense of what's happening right across Senegal. So far, great.
What are these numbers here? 54 are reporting no problems with the poll opening procedures. 8 are reporting at least one problem of some sort. It doesn't mean necessarily anything serious. Some examples: in one place, one of the polling station officials wasn't there when the voting was started, but everything started on time anyway. All the equipment was there, the other people were there, so no problem. We have the potential for getting data from about 1,500 to 1,600 polling stations today.
And at each of these 1,500 polling stations, the election monitors are checking that proper procedures are being followed. One of the key innovations of the new One World system is that they then send this information using standard codes, so that their data can immediately be fitted into the big picture and displayed on the public maps. In cases where this information is sensitive, the analysts in the Dakar Situation Room first check it before it goes public.
Overall, I mean, things look like they've opened fairly smoothly. That's, of course, bearing in mind that if things are going wrong, it probably takes a little while to send in your messages about what's happening. So we'll see how that shifts over the next hour or so. But you know, the technology is working, so on that end, everything seems good.
Fingers crossed.
This is a system Ken built to enable our NGO partners in Senegal to download the data in somewhere in between raw data form and this map, where you can sort of get an overview sense. You can really dig into the details, but it's organized enough so they can get a good sense of what's happening on the ground. So we're just checking to see what those data download forms look like in real life today.
There's a moment of truth.
Bum, bum, bum.
Fantastic.
There's joy in the land.
So we have a row for each station that we've got data for so far.
Oh, that's a good way to see how many polling stations.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
534 polling stations sending in data.
Wow. So this would be really good. So you can now draw charts of, you know, how many polling stations in each region have got good results and bad results.
Throughout the day, if there are any incidents of violence, any incidents of the voting stopped for any reason at a polling station, intimidation, vote buying, we'll start getting incidents like that reported at any time.
Well, that's why I was just interrupting. We have got our first serious incident.
Have we? Someone involved with the local women's group that supports one of the parties is 100 meters away from the polling station trying to buy voting cards from voters. She's instructing the voters to vote for a particular party and making promises to them if they do that. 1,021 polling stations at 9:55, less than 2 hours. More than 1,000 polling stations.
Pour le moment, la situation elle est tout à fait calme. Donc, contrairement à beaucoup de craintes qu'on avait, le scrutin s'est passé globalement très bien.
Super, super. Ça me rassure beaucoup. And I was just checking my email, and I received one from Burkina Faso, who says, "I'm following the elections in Burkina Faso and congratulate you on the site." And he's someone who seems to work in security management for maybe a mining corporation or something in Burkina Faso. So people are watching and finding it.
I mean, I don't think there's anything like this for the UK elections.
Yet.
Yeah.
Watch out, David Cameron. There's a rumor going around that at 4 or 5 o'clock they're going to cut off communications.
Any of these connecting point breaks, then the whole system will stop.
That's just a rumor, though, for the moment. 6:01. The official time for polls to be closing in Senegal. We have the first bit of information. There's one where Macky is 10, Wade is 79. Let's see, here's another one where Macky is 78, Wade is 90, Macky is 81, Wade is 98. But what you need to remember is that for Wade to win outright, he has to win 50% in this round. So as long as the sum of the other candidates equal at least 50%, that means there will be a second round.
4 weeks later, and that second round is underway, with the incumbent President Wade pitted against opposition challenger Macky Sall. And the team of monitors and analysts are back, working with the One World software and proving a magnet for visiting dignitaries, including the President's daughter, Cinderly.
C'est un moment très important pour la nation, c'est un moment très important pour le peuple, pour l'ensemble du Sénégal et même pour l'Afrique, puisque le Sénégal a toujours été un exemple de démocratie et de paix.
And does she think that the One World technology has made a difference in this election?
Non, c'est une très bonne chose de pouvoir alerter en temps réel des dysfonctionnements, parce qu'il y a forcément, il y a toujours des dysfonctionnements, hein, ce n'est pas propre au Sénégal. Dans toutes les démocraties, il arrive qu'il y ait des dysfonctionnements. Et ce qui est important, c'est de pouvoir les régler rapidement. Pour cela, faut-il encore être averti le plus rapidement possible.
But what's the view of the international observers?
Very impressive. Very well organized. Seems that I'm very impressed with the data collection, and the analysis is just, you know, it's unbelievable. You have to see it to believe it. Yeah. I was covering elections in Côte d'Ivoire just before Christmas in 2011, and definitely if I'd seen something of a similar kind in Côte d'Ivoire, it would have actually given us a better overview and analysis of what was happening in the country at that time. As a result, from what I've seen here, we'll be able to get a sense of what's happening on the ground much sooner than having to wait maybe days before there's actual counting, etc., and results come through.
And a few hours after the polls close, the result.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Là, je pense qu'il y a un nouveau président qu'on a élu au Sénégal, et je pense que c'est Macky Sall qui vient d'être élu.
Today is an historic day for our history, social, political history in Senegal, and today is we are celebrating democracy, the victory of democracy in Senegal.
Within hours, President Wade concedes, and 50-year-old Macky Sall is president-elect.
Avec les autorités compétentes pour les faire rectifier. C'est ça la grande innovation de notre observation. Nous avons allié un peu la technique, l'innovation technologique et puis la politique. La politique au sens noble du terme, je dis. C'est-à-dire, en lieu, nous avions une chambre où nous prenions des décisions pour améliorer le processus électoral.
Now they have a website, they have SMS technology, and the support of organizations like One World and NDI played a huge role in enabling them to use those technologies, because they didn't have that capacity, they didn't have the infrastructure and the equipment to do it. So those new partners helped strengthen their capacity, and I think it will be an integral part of their observation efforts for future elections now.
Franchement, je pense que c'est un bon projet. Aujourd'hui, on a prouvé qu'avec les technologies, on peut faire beaucoup. On peut faire le monitoring en temps réel et permettre quand même d'avoir des résultats qui soient fiables, une société civile crédible, et ce grâce à One World, grâce au COSEC, grâce à des jeunes, à des citoyens qui sont engagés pour la cause de la démocratie.
I'm here in Dakar, Senegal, working with our USAID office and colleagues from One World. from the local NGO partners and also from the National Democratic Institute. We did a very exciting project for the 2012 elections, presidential elections, first round and second round, with local observers. And these local observers are quite experienced in Senegal, and through the application of unique technology that One World has developed, they've been able to expand and enhance their observation efforts, which was probably pivotal in the case of Senegal's presidential election. And USAID was proud to join in for the second round for a more extensive collaboration to develop enhanced technology tools. Technology was able to present in a graphic way the information about observation that was so important for the overall acceptance of the results of this election. So all around it was an amazing project and done on very quick measure and with great success. So.
I'm very gratified that the technology works and not only that it works, but it's usable on the ground. That it's the type of technology that actually, with a minimal amount of training, regular people throughout Senegal can learn and use it to monitor what's going on in the voting booths in their part of the world. So yeah, I'm very gratified that it works, and I hope that we'll be able to deploy it in other places as well, because it's really useful and I haven't seen anyone else who does it.